Hello and welcome to this edition of Please Note from the Cathedral Center of the Diocese of Los Angeles. And I'm with Bishop Diane Bruce, who is in charge of the Martin Luther King weekend, for which I am here, but also in charge and a participant in a lot of work in ministry that I wanted to share with you. Bishop, welcome.
Oh, thank you, and we're so happy to have you. We're just ecstatic that you're here with us this weekend.
Tell us about your ministry and your work here.
Oh, thank you. A primary work of mine, aside from the congregations I'm geographically responsible for, is I'm in charge of multicultural ministry, stewardship, and creative ministry. And I think the multicultural ministry piece is the one that grabs you the most. Here in the Diocese of Los Angeles, we're blessed by being a melting pot of many different cultures. So the multicultural ministry group is represented by churches that are Filipino, Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, now we have starting Pakistani, also Latino, Native American, and historic black churches that we have. So we've got this melting pot of people that come together, and Japanese as well. We have a melting pot of people that come together. The leadership of each of these groups meet with me every other month for an evening where we talk about kind of the challenges of the ministry, things that we hold in common, and things that we can do together. And what's been wonderful about that, getting the groups together, is that they're learning from each other, and not only are they learning from each other, they're sharing together. So where they used to be kind of more separated groups, now they're actually supporting one another in mission and ministry for a common cause, which is to grow the church in the name of Jesus Christ. So it's been kind of wonderful for us and wonderful for me to do this. It's humbling as a bishop, as you know, to be able to engage with people in this way. And truly, it's joy-filled to be together. When we get together, the room lights up because I think the Spirit is very present. Certainly, the first time they got together, they were learning about each other. Now it's like they're all, as they come together, they're old friends, being with each other. It's fun.
Like a new Pentecost.
It is a new Pentecost, but it's all in English.
Right.
It's all in English.
Well, you've also done some traveling and some work in Asia as well yourself.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh well, it was my privilege to be the first white female clergy invited to the Worldwide Anglican Chinese Clergy Fellowship, and that was in Manila in 2012 in the spring. And because I was over there that far, it just made sense to continue on and see other parts of Asia, and really kind of spread the word about what the Diocese of Los Angeles is doing, and build bridges for our that aspect of our multicultural ministry. So to that end, I traveled after Manila to Hong Kong, then Shanghai, Nanjing, Beijing, Seoul, Taipei, and then home. And we have a very strong relationship with the province of Korea. In fact, we have this very unique ministry that goes on. The primate of Korea asked me about having some of his clergy have an American experience. I'd like some of my clergy to have an American experience. I'm thinking, what is that? What did that look like? And shortly thereafter, when I came home, I was having breakfast with the chaplains at Good Samaritan Hospital, and I said, well, what's the problem demographic that you have what's the demographic you have problems serving as chaplains? He says, well, 30%, Bishop, of our demographic on any day are non-English speaking Koreans. And it was like, ding, 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 ding. So they have an apartment building next door to the hospital, and they have a CPE program, Clinical Pastoral Education Program, which clergy within the United States have to go through before they get ordained. So, but they don't have that in Korea. There's no CPE program in Korea. So we get 1 to 2 Korean priests or seminarians each CPE cycle. They come over. They stay in the apartment building that the hospital owns for free, because the hospital owns it. It's where the hospital houses families of patients that come over from Guam for services here in the United States. So they stay there, they learn clinical pastoral education through the program, and then they are native-speaking Koreans pastoring to native-speaking Koreans in the hospital setting. And so it's a win-win for the hospital, for the province of Korea as well. So we have a very strong bond in that regard. And the people's lives are changed as they go back. Because, CPE, when you went through CPE, I'm sure it's the same. It just opens you up to a new way of thinking and praying and being. So that's a win-win. And then we just opened on January 1st the Lee Timoy Chinese Center, which is in its infancy stage right now, but we're expecting good things, including the ability to train Chinese clergy for the American church here, as well as to continue developing our relationships with Taiwan, Hong Kong, and mainland China.
Is that named after Florence?
Yes.
Baltimore?
Yes,
Who
absolutely.
is she?
Ooh, she was the
A leading question, if ever there
very
was one.
leading question. She was the first woman priest in the Anglican Communion, and an amazing woman. And when I actually went to Macau when I was in Hong Kong, and I got to see the church where she first served, or where she served in Macau.
Yeah.
And there's this wonderful picture of her on the wall, and I'll never forget standing behind the altar, thinking to myself, Lee Timoy, the first Anglican female priest, celebrated the Eucharist behind this altar. I was blown away. Just blown away.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's fun.
Well, Bishop Bruce, you and Bishop Glasspool and Bishop Bruner make quite a team.
We're a dynamic trio.
You are that.
Aw.
And the ministry you're doing, the multicultural ministry and all of the other ministries, they matter, they make a difference, and they are a witness here in Los Angeles and a model for the rest of the church. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
And we're just, again, so glad to have you with us.
I'm glad to be with you.
Okay, good.
And God bless you and keep the faith.